This is T.Y. Jackson.
United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green.
How you doing, people?
And I love pro wrestling.
I love pro wrestling.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Clinic. I am Lawrence Kurtz. We are live. Another big week in wrestling, as yesterday was AEW Wrestle Dream.
Hi, I'm Maxine Dupree.
And I'm Otis.
Hi, I'm the Sweetest Pete, Christara.
Mars, the Specialist.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And we
love wrestling.
Bottoms up, brains on. Welcome to Quizplex here on Love Wrestling, your pro wrestling trivia charity show. My name is Zach Ralph. I will be your host.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
Yeah, we are the Usos.
This is Rachel Ellering.
And we love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
Well, you better know by now. It's episode 235 of this thing.
I guarantee you there's like an 85% chance that's not an accurate number.
Hi, this is Shaz McKenzie.
This is Big Bad Boris.
This is the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
If you're here, thanks for being here. It's for Exposure, Love Wrestling's Independent Weekend podcast, where we break down all the best happenings of the world of the independent wrestling side.
I'm Peta, I'm wrestling, and what?
I'm the alternative Anthony Green.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling. I love wrestling. And you know what? Pentacero.
That's called scanning, kids. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is time for a excitingly fun, I hope, episode of Saturday Night Love. My name is Big Ben Boris.
I'm Big Ben Ortmans.
Hi, this is Smiley Kylie Ray.
I'm Yes Guy.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Of course.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week?
The Rams lost!
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian boys, shut the hell up! Let me talk!
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And y'all know what that means.
It's draft day. Kevin Costner's, baby.
Yeah, the draft is happening right now. They're in Pittsburgh tonight.
No matter what, Vontae Mack, son. That's what it means.
Yeah, they're in Pittsburgh tonight, so gross. But they got all the old Pittsburgh people out there. They're all waving their terrible, ugly yellow towels. Yeah, really gross. Just really. Hines Ward, one of the dirtiest players to ever exist in the history of the league, just showed up, so that's even worse. The NFL draft is going on. That's starting. We can get. Oh, look at this. She's the first one in the chat tonight.
Pluggo.
First one in the chat tonight.
She's a smoke show. Her birthday was on Sunday. She's awesome.
There were some other things that happened last weekend that we'll dive into.
Were there?
As WrestleMania. Oh, they got Ben Roethlisberger out there. That's good. Get him out there. It's not like, great.
It's the NFL draft, which means the most corniest, nicest corn.
Oh, they got Terry Bradshaw out there, bro.
God, old Fernandez. I can't wait for Fernando Mendoza's like, I'm just so happy to be here, guys.
He said he's not there.
No, he's not even there.
He told the NFL weeks ago that he was spending it at home with the family. Not there. So the number one pick in the draft, not there.
So
the consensus number one pick will not be there this evening.
What's up, Scott?
What's going on, Scott? How are we doing? Big night tonight. We'll be talking. Obviously, WrestleMania is past us. The post Raw Mania also past us. So we'll be talking some WrestleMania. We'll be talking some Raw after Mania.
Scout's in the chat.
Scout is in the chat. The NFL draft is happening tonight. There's playoff hockey tonight. There's playoff basketball. We're going to be having SP3 joining us in the 9 o'clock hour to talk some playoff basketball, which will be fun. I know we usually talk the wrestling, and I'm sure we will. But we'll be chatting some.
Yeah, his team's playing my team, and my team's playing
his team's
like
beating
garbage.
Your team's ass. His team's
garbage.
Beating your ass. Yeah.
Burn the whole franchise to the ground.
The Rockets?
Absolute disgrace of a basketball team right now.
Wow. What are they like the?
And it's not because, and we'll get into it more with SP3. And it's not because it's the Lakers, and it's not because it's LeBron. It's because it's only LeBron.
Yeah, they don't even have Luka.
They got nothing right now.
And you guys are getting your asses kicked. Anyway,
well,
let's not beat around the bush, though.
I was gonna say we got a very, very, very special guest. When I get the thumbs up that they are ready to rock and roll, we will bring them on. But she is making her triumphant return. She's got a little time for us. She was in Vegas for WrestleMania. It's Minnie Portable's back. She's in the house. Hopefully, she's got some AC running today.
I remember it was 100. It was like 110 degrees last time, was it not?
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me back. It was like 109, 110, and I had no AC. I had a fan that just blew hot air. So yeah, now I'm back. Hi. If I need to turn on the AC, I could turn on the AC. So we're good.
Good. Well, we are glad you're back. We're glad to have you back. Yes. This should be a lot of fun tonight. You obviously were in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Over the weekend, experiencing WrestleMania week and WrestleMania, the event itself, which we will dive into. But first and foremost, it has been a little bit since you've been here. So just in general, how you been? How's life been? How's all that jazz? And how are you doing?
Life's okay. Well, life is good. I moved to Ohio, so now I'm here. I didn't realize. Okay. Do any of you live in a state that has Ohio weather? I'm assuming
I live in Massachusetts.
I'm from Indiana.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, you guys are actually near each other.
Are you telling me that you didn't realize that you were going to have spring, summer, and winter all in the span of 36 hours?
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cold. I thought it was cold, and everybody was like, "You are not prepared for the winter."
No.
I'm thinking about winter. That's it. I wasn't ready for winter, summer, spring, winter.
Like in the same day. In the same day. Yeah. The other day, so today where I'm in Massachusetts, so we experienced the 4 seasons as well. When I was going to work on Tuesday morning, it was 38 degrees. There was frost on my car. And when I left work, a mere 9 hours later, it was 66 degrees outside. And I said, all right, that's how we're rolling, bro.
I'm sorry to inform you that you will have weeks where it is 32 degrees one day, 75 the next day, 40, tornado warnings, thunderstorms, hail, and then it's sunny again, and then it goes, it's going to snow. So welcome to the Midwest.
I hate it.
Welcome to the Midwest, neighbor.
I love the Midwest, but the weather, I hate it. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
That had to be a jarring, because you were California, right? You were California, and then, And you said you just moved, so like recently, like where you didn't experience the full winter?
No, I did. That was September.
Oh, okay. So you had the full winter. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. So I
Okay.
felt like, have any of you played Uncharted?
Yeah, I love them.
So I felt like I was Nathan Drake, like traversing through like the snow.
Yeah.
I was just like
climbing up that train.
Yeah. I was like, this is so cool. Like
Yeah.
that was a good experience. But outside of that, I hated winter.
Yeah. Snow activities are fun. Snow activities are a lot of fun.
Sure, they are. They're cold though. But Lawrence is in the house saying OHIO and then says that we need to use Celsius because this is Canadian channel.
No.
I don't understand the conversion rate.
We are the American part of the Canadian wrestling channel, so we will use American metrics is what we'll use.
Yeah.
But all right. WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
You were there. Before we're gonna dive into Mania and like actually what happened in the matches and stuff like that. But as far as the week goes, how was your general experience of the week? I know you went to obviously both nights, but like just the things you did before, the things you did outside of Mania, how was just your time at WrestleMania over the weekend, however long you were there?
I got there Thursday, left right after Mania. We were supposed to fly out midnight, but our flight got delayed by like 4 hours. It was horrible. So flying out was horrible. Flying in was a breeze. I liked everything that we did outside of Mania, but that was my thing already. Like going to Mania, I did not want to attend Mania. I was like, if there's a watch party, cool. But my sister gifted me the tickets, so I was like, let's go. Nosebleed tickets too, which I'm not knocking my sister at all. But it was just like when I didn't even want to go. Like I'd rather work Mania, like I'd rather be here streaming, creating content, and all the good stuff. But like all the happenings outside was really cool. It's always good to see friends. Met new people, saw people that I've known online but have never seen. So my experience overall was a good experience. I think the Mania days were probably like the least exciting for me.
Okay, fair enough.
That's kind of like, and we've been to some events and we've covered them and we've been before. That's kind of like when you get to Mania finally, or you get to the event that you're there for, right? Like you're kind of like, oh, this is like the least eventful part of it because it's kind of like it's coming to an end. The work is kind of done. The fun, not that the events are bad to be to attend, but I get that vibe for sure. Now you said you sat the nosebleeds. Now I have to ask, did you see the video of the guy that fell the couple of rows?
Yes, but I didn't see the guy. I wish I saw the guy. That would have been my highlight because I wanted to know what happened.
I was like, that's my biggest fear, man. Stumbling down in the nosebleeds.
God, you better hope someone catches you. You better hope someone.
Fernando's in the house. Welcome in, Fernando.
Yes, Fernando, welcome in. And speaking of Fernando, officially Fernando Mendoza was just taken number 1 overall by the Raiders in the draft. So
that's a great question. You're now in Ohio. You're in Ohio. There's 2 football teams. There's the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Are you none?
Ohio State. That's what I.
Oh, that's okay. Pluggo, take it easy. Breathe. It's all right. It's all right. She's cool.
That's cool, what I got to represent, man.
No, really. She's cool.
All right. It's cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna winners, man.
Whoa!
Wow.
My heart is full. Oh, I'm a Notre Dame fan. Don't hate. Don't hate.
Not good.
We're neighbors. Ohio's not that far. Notre Dame will come over there and take care of business in the horseshoe.
Oh boy,
it's not far at all. I went to Indiana to visit Wheezy. It was like a 4-hour because I rented a car, so it was like a 3-4 hour ride. I can't even remember. But yeah.
Depending on what part of Ohio you're at, that sounds about right. Because her and I are from similar surroundings.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. So Mania happened. Well, all right. Were you able to attend other events besides Mania, your Mania week? Like I know they do a bunch of stuff throughout the city and stuff like that. So what were some of the other highlights or like events you attended that really stuck out to you this past weekend?
Yeah, there were two events that I wanted to attend as a fan. So one of them was Stardom. The second one was Marvelous. Marvelous got sold out. Stardom, though, I got to go, which was cool. House of Glory, I wanted to go as well, but I actually did media for them. So I was already going to go. But because I did media, I already had a press pass. So I could go to Stardom as press, which was even because it all was in the same casino. So that was a really cool experience. It was me, Alex, which is Queen of the Ring, my boyfriend Nate. There were two other people, and then the next box over, which is just like a little walk, was Dave Meltzer.
Wow.
And then right next door to him was Will Ospreay and his family. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm not going to interact with you guys, obviously. Like, I'm not going to bother you. And Meltzer was locked in. Like, he was just like,
he's got to get them star ratings.
He was just getting them star ratings out. That's what he was doing.
It is a wild vibe to be in those rooms and seeing all those like big name people, and everybody is usually just so chill. Where it's like, oh hey, yeah, that's Will Ospreay just sitting over there, and nobody bothers him because hey, that's Will Ospreay sitting over there. You're just like. Because that's such a cool vibe. But the show's awesome. I haven't made my way through all of the independent wrestling stuff that happened over the collective because there was so much this year. There was I think 70 events around Mania alone, just wrestling related. It's crazy.
I think so. There was like a 2 or 3 page doc of every single event. But Marvel did get sold out, so we didn't get to go. The only reason I wanted to go there was because Senka and Aja Kong was main eventing. I believe that was the main event. But I wanted to see Senka, and she's one of my favorite independent wrestlers right now. But that sold out almost immediately, and I was like, well, can't go to that. So
that's fair. That's fair. All right, so we moved to actual WrestleMania. You were in attendance. This feels like a Jekyll and Hyde WrestleMania to a lot of fans. It feels like there was a lot of animosity, anger, sadness, depression coming out of like night one for wrestling fans, and then it did feel like night two was a decent to good rebound. So night one, you're obviously in the stadium, so I don't know if it's a different thing for you, but for us watching at home, the general vibe was not necessarily that any of the matches were bad or anything like that, but it was very ad heavy, very long time in between matches. The matches didn't need to be as short as they were. I know from us watching at home, not in the arena, it was commercial ads, movie previews. It was all a lot of non-wrestling things. I heard in the arena they were showing video packages. Just did it feel that same way in the arena, I guess, than it felt for a lot of fans watching at home that were vocal about how the vibe of the night went in night one?
Yeah, so for me, it didn't seem that way only because I do pee a lot. So I was using the restroom as soon as the match ended and I saw an ad. Great. I was like, pee, go grab water. So I understand though, because the amount of times that I was able to do that and for how long, because I was trying to rush, but then I was like, damn, there's still commercials. Okay. Like we don't even have a match yet. So I understand why people are complaining. I think if I stayed at home, watched Mania, I would have had the same complaints. I will say the stadium started to boo towards the end. I think people caught on like, oh, wow, there's a lot of ads. So every single time something was announced, this is our next match, and then they turned to an ad, the stadium started booing, and it was pretty loud. And it kept going up until the main event. So I think being there, watching from home, we can all agree that there were a lot of ads. I think the atmosphere for night one was a lot different than night two. Night one, a lot of empty seats, a lot of empty floor seats, like a whole section, like floor. This entire section was empty. And I found it weird because usually if it's empty, like you just fill that in with like other people. They did not want to do that. TKO, whatever. So there were so many, but night two actually sold out. That was a full stadium.
Yeah, they were trying to get them extra dollars. Yeah, it was. I felt from the viewership at home, and I'm assuming you got a similar watch experience in the stadium with the ads on the TV, but it just really felt like you would do something really awesome, and then you would take the wind out of the sails, and the crowd, like, my moment was like when ISO Speed hits that splash off of the ring post through the announce table. Everybody's kind of going crazy, and you got us into a fever pitch. First match of WrestleMania, and then you're like, here's 10 minutes of 15 minutes of ad stuff until the next match, and you're like, I can't imagine being in the stadium trying to stay hype when you're just like, well, I got to keep being up and down and breaks, and so it has to be tough.
Because I also saw a lot of people dogging on the crowd. And I'm like, look, I'm always one to, shit on a crowd. If a crowd is bad, I go, but I don't think this is their fault. They take the experience we're getting from waiting 25 minutes in between these matches sometimes. And imagine you're there. Like, that's even worse, kind of, because you're there. You're like, oh, all right, I'm ready to go. That was an awesome ending to that. And then it's like, okay, now we have to wait 20 minutes before I see the next thing I want to see. Like, I was kind of like, I don't really think that's the crowd's problem. I think that's more of a general problem. But yeah, I did
keep
notice
them engaged and keep them invested.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think there were, unfortunately, a lot of people that probably just went to have fun. I actually saw a lot of people on social media that I follow that are not a part of wrestling whatsoever, but they were at WrestleMania. And I was very surprised, like a lot of influencers, celebrities, and stuff like that. So I do think the people in the nosebleeds, unfortunately, those were the actual fans. But that was always my complaint with SmackDown. It's like, how are you going to give me a good match between Ilya versus Carmelo and then give me like 3 ads in the middle of it? I can't be that invested because it's like I'm hyped and then commercial and then it's like, okay, cool. I'll talk to my chat and then the match is back and it's like, all right, let me try to reinvest myself. So yeah, the ads is just man, that's horrible. And I think I would have hated it if I watched it from home.
Yeah. But you didn't get to see, you were there. So real quick out to shoot night one, like what match stood out? What match in the arena though? Do you think maybe? Do you watch it back? I guess that should have been my first question. Do you like after you're at the event, or you call that good, or do you go home and like watch what you were at just to get the commentary and everything?
So I usually do that, but this time for like a good year, I haven't done that, but I always do that. I'm like, let me go ahead and see what people said. This time around, I didn't, but I will because I'm very interested in seeing how in between was it, which if you're saying 15 minutes, that's a long time.
There was some long, because I was curious if like maybe you got, as somebody that was there, maybe you got a perspective on a match or a moment that hit a lot better than it did for the people watching at home. Like maybe that, you're like, oh, I think it got a bad rap on TV, but because we can dive into matches and what we thought, but there was a lot of downtime night one, man. It was tough. It was a tough sled. Yeah. I mean, that women's match got 7 minutes. The Liv and Stephanie got 7 minutes. Roman's entrance was 6.5.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me.
And then you add all the ads. Oh, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and who else didn't make it on TV?
Rusev.
I forgot about Rusev. Yeah. All 3 of them, you don't put the WrestleMania entrances on TV, but you want to like advertise the Hogan doc and like everything else that you're advertising. But it's like these people are on your WrestleMania card, and 2 of them, this is their first WrestleMania. Like, give them their moment, and that's so unfortunate. I did not know that until I go on Twitter and people were reposting Dragon Lee's wings, and they were saying how they didn't see it, and it's like you have 15-minute intervals in between matches and everything you're doing. I don't know, man. I will say 2 moments that by being there, I hated being there, and I wish I just would have been here, was Bianca Belair's return. Her EST music hit, and me and my boyfriend like stood up. We're like, what? And like no one around us really cared. And looking at the stadium itself, I was like, guys, the EST is here. Like, you don't have to like her, but like there should be some kind of a reaction, right? Like, it was just weird. And then that's my personal thing with the CM Punk's entrance. There, like, it wasn't that hype, so it was just
Whoa!
Yeah. No. I like CM Punk's entrance. I was freaking out, but
the crowd were,
yeah, I was like,
that was one for the sickos because of the AFI and the Ring of Honor stuff, and they went. But I liked CM Punk's entrance. I thought there was some good moments, like you said, but the that Bianca Belair moment, I would have loved to have really brought the roof off for her. I'm happy for her. Congratulations. She's expecting her and Montez, and that's awesome. But it was kind of like this weird, and that was also in a weird moment where like you're kind of in this lull, and then you bring, and it just kind of extends the inevitable, and you're like, ah.
How was that on TV, by the way? Was there an uproar or no?
I mean, I couldn't really gauge it from my TV. Like I couldn't really gauge like if it was like really massive pop, but I know when her music hit, I got pretty hyped about it because it's Bianca Belair, and I had no idea. I did a post show. We did the post show with Ellen. She's like, I could tell immediately she was prated by what she was wearing, and I was like, I didn't even really notice because I was just hyped she was back. So if it was flat in the stadium, that's the thing too. I never know if the stadium crowds come off good on TV or if WWE tries to mask some of that stuff because they have a history of piping in crowd noise and spots, and they have history of like muting and lessening the crowd reaction. So I wasn't sure, but for me, I was stoked. I was like, she's back. She's gone, but she's back. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Cena kind of made it a little awkward.
Cena's great though.
He's great, but he was definitely corny. So corny about it.
What did he say? He was like, "Congratulations to you," or something like that.
He's like, "Congratulations to you. Thank you, and welcome to the WWE for the youngest WWE fan in attendance." Oh, yeah. We have to add one more to the total.
Yeah, that's cool. I think he's muted.
Yeah, was I muted? Dang.
Yeah, you were just on. He was on a rant. Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals, baby.
I was gonna say Notre Dame. Jeremiah Love went number 3.
God, I gotta watch the Arizona Cardinals.
Nobody needs to watch the Arizona Cardinals. They
got Jeremiah Love. So.
Yeah. All right, but night one started, and I actually thought night one again. Match was short. I don't think it should have been this short, but I didn't really dislike the 6. I actually enjoyed the I Show Speed stuff. It was LA Knight and the Usos teaming up against the Vision and I Show Speed. I liked the little moments they had at the beginning with I Show Speed kind of getting caught in the ring with, the opponents a few times. And then, the spots that they gave him, I thought they made him look pretty good. I think they did a good job of protecting him in this match. Again, super short match, just over 7 minutes, which you would think that it would go longer. Obviously, I think the biggest part of this wasn't even part of the match. It was the splash by after the match, Logan Paul gets angry. He punches I Show Speed in the face. The good guys come in. They kind of clean him up, and they set up Logan Paul on the table. And then I Show Speed. And at home, there was the cool drone camera shot, which was a very, very cool shot. And I Show Speed nailed it. He nailed the splash on Logan Paul. It felt like the crowd really exploded for that moment. But just in general, like the opening match, the 6-man with I Show Speed and the Usos, the vibes were high in the audience at that point. Obviously, the beginning of the show, getting ready to kick off the weekend and stuff.
So I gotta be honest, I woke up hungover. Oh, got to WrestleMania late.
That's okay.
So I missed the first 3 matches. I got there right before Becky versus AJ Lee.
All right. What was it? Just a night out? Was there an event, or was it just a night out of having fun?
It was Remix Rumble, and they just gave us a bottle, and they were like, "Here you go, have fun," and we had fun.
You're like, "I will."
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Don't mind if I did.
I respect it. I respect it. But yeah, no, I thought this match was not bad, but it was just quick. It was just quick, and the best part of it was the I Show Speed kind of. But then, like Pluggo said earlier, you have this moment. The crowd gets jacked up. There's this cool moment. Everyone's like, hell yeah, WrestleMania. And then the second match doesn't start for 14 minutes.
That's so lame. And I saw that spot because it went super viral. And that's so lame. I didn't realize that it was like a 6-minute match, you said?
7 minutes and 8 seconds. It was the second shortest match on the show.
It's also WrestleMania. I know that the unsanctioned match was like 14 minutes.
14.
It's WrestleMania. What are we doing?
Yeah. I don't understand. Now, Scott in the chat said, but he said on night one, there was an hour, and it was a 4-hour show. It went live at 6 p.m. Eastern. It went off the air a little bit after 10 o'clock. And there was an hour and 26 minutes of wrestling on that show.
Just have one night and eliminate all the ads and all that. Have one night.
And that's you go to 2 nights, and that's the 2-night thing. I understood when the WrestleMania was 9 hours long. You're like, that's too much. But if you're gonna do this, you could do it in one night. I don't know if that make it, but then you also run into this situation where now we easily will compare the two, and I think that they went, night 2 was a success. So hey. I saw that it was the highest grossing revenue WrestleMania of all time.
Really? This one?
Well, I mean, the tickets were...
I was going to say the ticket prices were probably 10 times more than...
Probably didn't hurt, but...
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
They definitely made their money.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, and then you said, you had the unsanctioned match, which... Which a good match, but it wasn't really unsanctiony enough for being an unsanctioned. It was more of a street fight, so they should have just gave Fatu the win there. So technically, that wasn't even a real match.
Yeah, because it's unsanctioned, so it doesn't really. But that was actually a good match between Drew and Jacob, as you would expect it to be. Those guys are great. It was a good match. It never really got to the level of violence that I think would equate to it being an unsanctioned match. But it was a typical WWE kind of weapon, kind of that type of match. But it was really good. Jacob Fatu gets a big victory, which I think we all kind of saw coming. That was good. And then you have the 4-way match for the women's tag titles. And the Bellas come out, and Nikki Bella's on a crutch, and she says, I've been really trying hard to get cleared. I'm not cleared, but I didn't want to ruin my sister's moment. So I called in an old friend, and then this is where we saw the return of Paige, who comes out. Sounded like she got a very good pop in the arena, the stadium, I should say. She comes out, and they have this 4-way, and again, it's a 4-way match. You got 8 of your premier ladies in the ring, and it goes 8.5 minutes. It's just quick. Not bad by any means, but quick. And it seems like to me with this, they booked it that the Bellas were going to win this match. And then Nikki Bella got hurt, and they were like, all right, we're going to do this moment with Paige, but we're not going to change we're just going to give it to Paige and Brie. And it's like, well, that is weird. Why wouldn't you, I understand if you wanted the Bellas to win, but the Bellas are not whole right now because Nikki's hurt, unfortunately. You get the cool moment with Paige, but they could have lost and it would have been fun. I don't think that would have hurt Paige. It just felt very odd to me that they were the choice, this kind of just put together tag team that you have go over 3 of your established tag teams to win this match. I don't know.
Yeah. So I still haven't seen any of the first 3 matches. I did watch Paige's debut because I missed it. I heard that match was stiff, so I watched clips of it. I still don't know if it was stiff or not. I mean, Paige just came back to the ring after 2 years. Yeah. So for me, it's like whatever. But from the internet standpoint, they're saying that it sucked. I just think I don't know, man. If for WrestleMania, why are we having these short matches? It's WrestleMania. You're supposed to have the most grandiose entrance, but also when it comes to matches, you're supposed to have some of the best matches of the year. And I didn't think we had that outside of Seth Rollins versus Gunther.
Yeah.
On this side.
And that was 15, and you had the Braun Breaker interference, which extended it a little bit. Yeah. But by the time you got us on the edge of our seat for a match, it was over, and you're just like, this should be, like you said, the culmination of the stories you've been telling for the last however long, 6 months, 3 months, whatever. This is where they give everything they got, and they give us these banger matches where we're like, okay, holy shit, it's WrestleMania. Instead, they were just like, we got to get through this because the sponsorship money's got to pay the bills, and it just felt like that was the main focus, especially in night 1, and it was a super bummer because, again, no disrespect to the 8 ladies in that match, they definitely deserved more time,
Yeah.
I don't know if there was more that they wanted to do. I don't know if, again, and I don't know if maybe they had a bigger match planned and management was like, nope, you got 8 minutes from bell to bell, cram it all in there, and then you have to like take some stuff out, change some stuff, and it gets convoluted and it becomes a little stiffer on that end, but it is, yeah. And then on top of it, before we move, because we got to move on. I know you don't have a lot of time tonight, so we don't want to go crazy, but in kayfabe, Brie Bella and Paige have wrestled 2 combined matches in the last 10 years.
Against each other.
In 10 years, and they're like tag champs right out the gate.
I'm right out the gate.
What?
Boom. Never teamed together before, ever.
Because Paige's AEW run does not count in WWE circles. So
correct.
According to them, she has not been in the company in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
And then you have the current champions in there. You have Charlexa, which are former tag team champions.
Yeah.
And you got Bailey and Lyra, who have been teaming for a little bit. Like these are three established tag teams, and you have these two who've had 2 matches in a decade who've never teamed together, and they just, yep, all right, nice and easy. Okay.
Also, Paige is the anti-diva.
Yeah, it's just, yep, 100%.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So then we get to the women's IC title match. It's Becky Lynch. It's AJ Lee. This match also 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Another short match. I do think the match was better than the Elimination Chamber match because I thought that match wasn't really that good at all. I at least thought the lady ref Jess stuff and the turnbuckle stuff, I thought it was creative at least. But again, I felt like we were doing this backwards. I felt like Becky should have retained the title at Elimination Chamber and AJ Lee would be winning the title, getting her moment here. But clearly we kind of see that AJ's going away for a bit with kind of the post-Mania stuff. So they kind of did it in reverse where Becky wins the title back. Again, didn't think it was a bad match. Thought it was pretty solid, but you only can do so much with 8 minutes. And I felt like these 2 ladies, this feud's been going on for 6 or 7 months. You give them 8 minutes. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I'm just happy that we got our Jessica Carr moment within those 8 minutes because she's been pivotal to the story. The match itself was not getting any reaction from the crowd. I will say that. The crowd was a dud. When the crowd is a dud, you also feel like the match is a dud. So being there, I was watching the match and I'm trying to get invested, and I only got invested until Jessica Carr came in, and then the crowd reacted and stuff like that. But it's just, man, some of these matches had long-term storytelling, and then you still gave them 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Becky couldn't figure out AJ Lee for all this time, but then just
like it was nothing.
I don't know her. Ha 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 ha.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. And then, oddly enough, and not by the caliber of these 2 wrestlers, but the match that had the quickest build in like a 2-week build of Gunther and Seth Rollins, they get 18 minutes. It's the second longest match of the night. I mean, in my opinion, it was the best match of the night.
It was the best match. I didn't think of that.
With these 2, it is I kind of went into the weekend going, these guys can easily have the best match of the whole weekend if they wanted to. They got 18 minutes. It was the best match of the night. It was an excellent match. We see the return of Braun Breaker. He hits not 1, but 2 massive spears on Seth Rollins, but he hits Seth Rollins with the spear. Seth is then focused on him. Gunther, after taking a table spot, slides into the ring, chokes out Seth. Seth does the pass out gimmick where he doesn't tap out. So now you kind of have Braun and Seth for the summer. Now that Braun is back healthy and they're both back healthy. And now you have Gunther with that lingering favor or payment that Paul Heyman now owes him. This was the best match of the night. It felt like the crowd was invested in this big time. Was this the high point of the evening of night 1 for you and the crowd?
Well, for me in particular, because I like both, and I'm such a Gunther fan, and everybody around us hated Gunther, and you're supposed to hate Gunther. I get it, Yeah. But it was just so funny because I'm cheering for Gunther, but I'm also cheering for Rollins, but the people around me hated me for cheering for Gunther. That when Rollins came out, they were like, yeah. And they turned around to me and I'm like, I was Rollins
making friends in the nosebleeds.
I was like, no, they were like passively doing it.
They're
like, yeah, Rollins.
No, I know they were.
And I was like, okay, bro.
Like, are
whatever.
we gonna have another fight in these stands right now? Is that what I was saying?
But also, like, Gunther's winning, dog. Like, don't do this because I could reciprocate. So don't start this.
You're better than I am. I'd have been like, oh yeah, see, where's your boy now? Where's your boy now?
The second it was over, I just would have turned around and been like, "What happened?"
Oh, Ron Breaker just broke your boy in half from 75 yards down that ramp.
Yeah. But that was a really good match between those two, as you would expect. Very, very good stuff. And then it kind of turned into the singles match for the Women's World Championship. It was Liv, it was Stephanie, it was Liv Morgan defeating Stephanie to become the new WWE Women's World Champion. But as many people, and we even mentioned, 6 minutes and 51 seconds.
Why?
These two were given.
The best build.
Because she's trouble.
The best build out of Mania Night 1. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie.
That was 6 minutes. That was my favorite build, even with the like kind of pauses they had to put in there because of Stephanie's ankle injury. I still think they did a great job. And then this would have been one where I would have liked to have seen them like Liv really have to fight for it. And like I know she had the help, but man, I was just like, as soon as, and then what they did within that 6 minutes, 7 minutes was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, I needed like 5 more minutes. And I said this, like, you put 5 more minutes on all these matches outside of the main events, we'd be talking about a completely different WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Instead, they were like, nope. And I'm just still disappointed about it.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Liv Morgan, baby.
Yeah, and look, it felt, the right decision. I think all of us were kind of leaning Liv. It felt like this is her year, the Rumble win, and she was going to do this. And, again, what they did with the 6 minutes and 50 seconds was good stuff. It just, they deserved a lot more than that. And then we got the main event of night 1. My God. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. At the beginning, McAfee's out. First of all, they give Pat McAfee his whole damn entrance before we get the 10-minute Randy Orton entrance, and then the 10-minute and the Cody entrance was.
They
badass.
gave McAfee a Roman Reigns entrance.
Like
man.
literally, he could have just come out with Randy. He could have,
and he was just the whole time he was just flipping the bird.
Yep,
for 10 minutes.
Then we get to the introductions. McAfee interrupts, and he goes, and he attacks Cody with the mic. The match unfolds. This was a proper main event. This got almost 23 minutes. We see right at the beginning, McAfee gets kind of taken out. We see Jelly Roll shows up, and he gives McAfee an elbow through the announce table. Fine spot. Good. Get it out of the way early.
Yeah.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming. McAfee's off on a stretcher. And then we get proper Randy Orton, Cody, one-on-one. I thought they had a pretty decent match. It just felt like the whole time to me, it never really got into that second gear that I thought it was just kind of like this. We get the ref bump where Cody doing some heel shit, poking eyes and he pokes Randy's eye. Randy somehow thinks Cody miraculously ends up behind him and RKO's poor Charles. Takes an RKO.
No DQ there.
No. Then we see Pat McAfee in a neck brace and a ref shirt running down the ramp. And my thought is, nobody in Gorilla's like, hey, no, that's bullshit. We're not doing that.
They didn't have a backup ref. Where was Jessica Carr?
Totally okay. Totally okay. Just go.
Was the booze for Cody? They were coming through on the video. Was it pretty noticeable?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I was like, I started to hear him but I could still hear a little cheering going on. But I was like, uh oh.
This whole time, I've thought Randy's winning this. The whole time.
Me too.
Randy's winning.
Mm-hmm.
Randy's winning this one.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee comes down. There's a 3 count on Cody. Cody kicks out. And then out of nowhere, no pun intended.
Slowest count, by the way.
It was a super slow count.
If you're trying to cheat to win, like if you're coming out as a ref, 1, 2, 3. No, it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, very slow. Then out of nowhere, Randy Orton just RKO's Pat McAfee. That's it. So then that's all right. And he RKO's him, and then he gets up and just like kind of happened at the Elimination Chamber, but in reverse, right into a crossroads, and Cody retains.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that choice,
and everybody
missed the mark.
Aww.
There. Yeah, I think everyone was just kind of like, yeah, we're just staying with Cody. And again, I'm not anti-Cody at all. This is not an anti-Cody take.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we're just staying the course. That's what we're doing.
It's underwhelming because we know that we're going to get the same Cody, which is fine with like a couple of heel tactics. I don't think he's ever going to turn heel. Like this man is the next John Cena at this point. We're not going to see no heel Cody. He's for the kids. He's also said that he doesn't even know if he has it in him to bring that out anymore. It could just be like a ploy because he will bring it out. But honestly, this man is who he is. Like, this is the Cody that we're always going to get with maybe some little spice on it. So I thought the same way. Like, I was like, we're just going to keep doing this? Like,
keep doing it.
Like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yep. Now, we saw something happen after the match, obviously, where Cody was holding up the title in celebration. Randy takes the title, hits Cody over the head. And then for the first time in a long while, Randy Orton punted Cody. And that's how night one.
People cheered.
And people did cheer. And that's kind of how night one ends. So Cody Rhodes still the champion. However, Randy Orton kind of standing tall over a laid out Cody Rhodes. And that eye injury looked gnarly.
Yeah.
The pictures that he posted, very, very bad. But he was on Raw, did a little tease with Punk. So I guess he's okay enough. But yeah, so night one, I felt like a lot of wrestling fans felt deflated. It felt like there's been bad nights of Mania before, but this just kind of was a different feeling. It wasn't even about the show.
Did you
really.
get the $142 tomahawk steak at Allegiant Stadium?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if that was a thing. I wouldn't have. I did see the $50 burger, and not going to lie, I saw it afterwards, but I was inclined just to get it for content purposes, but then that would have been stupid because it's $50 for a
$50.
burger.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a burger.
Yeah, those prices were astronomical.
They were. All right, so then we fast forward to night two, and they did this cool thing where Cena comes out to open the show again. He welcomes everybody, and they kind of did the change of colors where everything kind of went from the night one color to the blue of night two. I thought the way they did that was kind of cool, whatever.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Then we get Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, starting the show. This is the match I think most, if not all, were the most excited about for the weekend, with Oba and just his lightning quick ascent to being the most popular guy in the company, if we're being real. Yeah. What are the vibes like? Because everyone knows it's first. Everyone knows it's coming. Oba gets the first entrance. It was in the daytime, so you didn't get that full, silhouette style when the pitch blackness of the thing, but still, like, crowds dancing, crowds chanting his name. Just, it felt like the energy was at an all-time high when this was getting down.
Yeah, that people were ready. I think people made it on time just for that match because so for night one, well, I got there late, but people were still coming in. And then night two, I felt like it was already full. Like, people were there ready to wait for this. I even made sure that I was there an hour prior because I was not going to miss this. So it was a good tactic to have Brock versus Oba. The crowd was electric for that.
Yeah.
I think that was the most outside of the main event.
For sure. And this
match went exactly how it was supposed to go.
100%. And this match was under 5 minutes. And for all the complaints about times, this was the only match that felt like that was the right, what should have happened. Brock does the suplexes. He tosses Oba around a little bit. He gives him an F5, and Oba just stands up. Just not even a count, just stands up. And then Oba takes care of business relatively quickly. He beats Brock in under 5 minutes. The crowd is going nuts. Oba's going nuts. And then we get something that I think none of us were expecting, is Lesnar is in the ring, and he's like laid out in the ring for a good while after the finisher, and it's like, what the hell? Like, Brock really doesn't do that at all. And he starts taking off the gloves. He takes off the boots. He's emotional. The crowd, you know, whether you feel a certain way about it or not, because of the individual, they give him his flowers, in that moment. They're, hey, man, you know, it is what it is. One of the most dominant, best to ever do it. Like, he gets his moment. But unexpected. I think we're all, and again, I don't think that is really it. I think this will turn into something here, but kind of an unexpected moment after the match with Lesnar and kind of the crowd giving him his flowers at that moment before we kind of moved on with the evening.
I think it's it.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
I think it could be. I don't know. I think Gunther's going to goad him out of it, but I don't know. We'll see maybe. But either way, then we went to this ladder match, which was awesome. This was an awesome ladder match. A shame that they cut some of the entrances for, ads. That's not cool. But it's Penta, it's Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rey Mysterio, and Rusev. And I thought this was a lot of fun. I felt like the electricity of the crowd carried over. This was the kind of the perfect match with all the spots and just the guys that were in it. This felt like this was really a strong hour. Of WrestleMania this first hour. I love this ladder match. I love it.
That's how you get people hyped for your show.
Yeah.
Those two matches,
Yeah, you have a match that's the most hyped, and then you have a ladder match that people are excited about, and then right after what? It was Trick Williams versus Sammy?
Yeah, the Trick and Sammy rolled right out with his CVS receipt coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had that.
And you had to whoop that Trick entrance. I mean, granted, they still had just about as many ads as they did on night 2, but there was only 6 matches. And I think they paced it a little bit better. But yeah, you had boom, 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 and everybody was just, it was pretty much like an all rise for those first 3.
Yeah.
And
there wasn't, I liked the Trick and Sammy match, but it was 7 minutes long. This was the Trick entrance with Little Yachty, and it was, a good story in there, but this was really the crowning of Trick this moment. He got the big entrance. He gets the big win. He gets the big celebration. That dude's a star. We talk about but Trick is kind of right there with how quickly the crowd has taken to him too. Like this was like the crowning of 2 new mega stars for them. That's how I felt like with that. And then it goes right into the Demon coming back, which was awesome. I do think they should have just saved it to be a surprise. I feel like it would have been a bigger. Still awesome. I love Finn Balor. I love the Demon. This match was, I would say, solid with him and Dom. But I feel like if you only tease the Demon, but we all really didn't know, and it's actually a surprise, I feel like that even elevates it even more. But it had to be cool to see the Demon come back live.
Yeah, that was cool. I wish it was a surprise too.
Yeah.
Also, like Finn made that promo, so we knew that he was coming back. So if they wouldn't have done the promo or even teased it, or not even teased it, announced it, that would have been a bigger pop because we got Demon Finn. I do think it's kind of silly that you have to bring out Demon Finn to beat Dominic Mysterio.
Thank you. That's what I said. I said, are you kidding me? Dom don't want no part of that. And then not a single member of Judgment Day came out to distract that damn Demon when it was legal to do so.
Yeah, it was just
ridiculous.
It was just nonsense, but it is what it is. We got a Finn Balor win, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And then we had the WWE Women's Championship match, which saw Rhea Ripley defeat Jade Cargill. Now Rhea is part of the SmackDown roster now, as she is the WWE Women's Championship. Again, this match got just over 10 minutes. I felt like it could have gone a little longer, but I thought this match was pretty solid. I thought Jade was great in this match. I thought this was one of her best showings in the ring. Obviously, she's in there with Rhea, who's excellent, but this was really good. I thought the ending sequence with Rhea doing that reversal out of Jade's finisher there into the Riptide was a very cool, slick-looking finish to the match. I had convinced myself that Jade was going to retain over the last couple weeks when they put her with that group with B-Fab and Misha, which
she should have.
I feel like she should have.
Same.
Yeah, because we did see them come out. We saw EO come out. Ridiculous that EO didn't have a match, but at least they gave EO this.
Yeah,
she still should have had a match, though, but whatever. And she helps Rhea win, and Rhea wins. I agree with the both of you. I feel like it would have done a lot more for Jade retaining, and then Rhea could have won it at Backlash next month, and who gives a shit? We're like just where we are now. It doesn't matter. But it's Rhea Ripley. I get it. She's arguably the biggest star in the company. It is what it is.
She got the biggest pop of the night.
That doesn't shock me.
I haven't been a part of a Rhea pop, and when I tell you, as soon as Rhea's music hit, I was like, "Holy shit!" I've never felt anything like that. Like my seat was trembling. Yeah, I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, and that's why, like, even though I would have preferred Jade to win, she is the biggest star in the company. Like, you can make a strong argument she is the biggest star in the company. So really it's WrestleMania.
Makes sense. I mean, it's not a bad pick. I just really thought that this was the moment she put Jade Cargill on the map.
Yeah,
where you say she beat the big. We see a lot in her. We know her title defense didn't have her reign didn't have a bunch of defenses. Look what she can do.
Yeah.
Boom. She just beat Rhea Ripley. And you could have B-Fab and Micha and make it where it wasn't clean, and then you go, all right, run it back. But hey, Rhea's all there's nothing wrong with Rhea Ripley, man. Nothing at all. It's a safe, good pick.
And she showed out, so that's cool.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I think Jade carried that match. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, Jade.
Hot take.
She was really good. Yeah. She was really good. She did a one-winged angel for crying out loud.
Well, I think it was also part of the design was to show off that she could. Because that was always a criticism, was like, she can't wrestle, blah, blah, blah. She's so green, yada, yada, yada. And I think they wanted to make her look like $1 million even at a loss.
Yeah. And then, in your last comments before we have to get you out of here. I mean, this main event, though. All-time fabulous main event. It really saved the weekend, you can make an argument. With Roman Reigns, CM Punk. They give CM
could you
Punk,
imagine if this was a bad main event?
They do the entrance. I know you said the people around you kind of were a letdown, but they do this CM Punk entrance. Roman gets his typical entrance. They went back to the old music though, which was good. And Roman gets a good entrance with I love the thing with the classical, the opera singer and that, and they showed all the old Samoans like Yoko and all like that was
she was going off.
Yeah, like that was great.
I did not realize it was her. But it's like, I was like, damn.
Yeah, I thought that was a very cool entrance. And then we get this Punk entrance. They play, oh my God. They play, the AFI song there.
Yes. However you pronounce the song, Miseria Cantera. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's wearing this nice jacket honoring people that have passed. And and then he comes out to the no music. And he walks out there. There's no music going on. He's just there. And you can see him, at least from the TV angle, you can see him just looking around. And this, you could tell, even though he main evented Romania last year, this was what he's been waiting for his whole
Was that the
career,
remix of Terminator? Was that Grainmaker said that was the remix of the Terminator theme?
Oh, it might have been. I don't know. Is that true?
I don't know.
I can't remember. But maybe I need to add that to the list of movies to rewatch.
Yeah. But he's standing there. He goes down. It's clobbering time. The music hits. And then at that moment, I was sitting here watching it, and I go, this feels like WrestleMania. Like, this feels like a big fight.
I'm so jealous.
Main event feel. This is what I'm talking about. And then
plain and simple. They kept it simple. They convoluted the night one main event with all that stuff. This is all you needed to do.
Yeah, no interference for Roman at all.
Have two guys, top prize in the company.
Don't like
hate each other.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's all you needed to do.
Yeah. They went for nearly 34 minutes. The storytelling in this match was unbelievable. Yeah, it was 33:56 was the time of this. So it was 34 minutes, and it was just masterful. There were like different segments of the match early on. There were certain segments where they kind of harkened back to everything they were giving each other shit about leading in. Punk was saying, you can't win by yourself. You can't win by yourself. So him doing the power bomb through the table with nobody is kind of like, oh, I can do this by myself. And then they're going back and forth. You know what I mean? Like that's how I viewed it, right?
Yeah,
you keep on going. And then at the end, what was the thing that got Punk angry was when Roman called him old. And then at the end, Punk, the old man, was the one that died first. Like he couldn't go. He tried to lift him up for that last GTS, and he just couldn't do it because Roman outlasted him because he's younger, he's strong, and it just kind of told the whole story of what they were talking about. And then Punk grabbing the Ula Fala because he talked about the family, and he was going to do that with the Ula Fala.
Yeah, it was just wild.
It was just really good storytelling. This was a proper Mania match. It was really the only match of the weekend where it felt like it was a WrestleMania match. This was a great main event, and it felt like the crowd was invested for every second of it. How did it feel in the arena? And just the vibe. And Roman Reigns, once again, world champion. Now he's got the other belt now, so he's the world's champion. But how do we feel about Roman also winning the main event and beating Punk?
Yeah, that crowd was very pro Roman, like very, very pro Roman. Where people that were cheering for both cheered for CM Punk, but when it came to like Roman, it was like, let's get up. That was my section did not get up for that many moments, but for Roman, everybody was up. I was like, damn. Yeah. And CM Punk comes out, and it was just like seated. And it's like a couple of claps. It was crazy. That match was incredible. I didn't see like certain parts that you were talking about, but now I see it. I was the one that really thought CM Punk was going to win. Not because I like CM Punk. I just really thought that he was going to win. I did not think Roman Reigns at all. And everybody kept telling me, it's so obvious that Roman is winning. And then when it happened, I was like, I guess it was obvious. I don't know. I guess I'm like stupid. I don't know. But yeah, I just did not see CM Punk losing. And then he shows up on Monday Night Raw. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what's going on.
On Monday Night Raw and goes for the bigger title.
And then now he's gonna feud with Cody Rhodes. Like,
like
what are we doing?
What is the next one?
Like,
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting dynamic. Yeah, the only downer of the night was the CM Punk's opening his entrance, just because no one cared, no one reacted to it.
Yeah,
and it was annoying. I wish I was home. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, I have one question, because I know you got to get out of here. How did the in the stadium, the Danhausen John Cena segment?
Oh,
it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Like it was.
Yeah.
It felt like it got over. Danhausen's just
that went
incredible.
Over great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I was very happy and proud of, because everybody was like, hell yeah, Danhausen. Yeah. That went over more than a lot of things that you think would go over.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, we know you got to get going here, so we do appreciate you making the time and joining us here for the first hour to talk about your experience at Mania and all that fun stuff. Please let the people know where they can follow you. Oh, wait, you got to say something, Pluggo?
I was just saying the Midwest weather report that you're getting accustomed to.
Yeah.
Oh man, you can follow me anywhere at Mini Portable. Thank you, appreciate you too. Thank you for letting me redeem myself. Yeah, because the last time I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
She's like, guys, I gotta get out of here. It's so hot.
Yeah, you're like, it's 120 in this room. I am dying.
She's like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I can't even. Yeah. It was so bad. So thank you for letting me redeem myself. Anytime you guys need me, cool. Tonight, unfortunately, I'm short on time. But any other time, I could be here longer for whatever you guys want. Cool.
And we will make it happen.
We'll get you back on. We love having you. You're crushing it like always. Keep it up. You're the best. We appreciate you so much. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Stay warm, cold, / whatever the weather changes to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Guys.
Appreciate
Bye.
you. Have a good one.
You too.
The wonderful Mini Portable. Go follow her if you're not already following. Oh, if you're not already, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, go follow her. She's awesome. She's great. So we're glad that she joined us to talk Mania. And we're not slowing down here, Pluggo, tonight.
No, and I brought this on myself.
You did, because this guy has, I'm sure, a basketball thing to pick with your trash bag team.
Oh, burn the whole... You remember that scene? We'll bring him on, and I'll just bring it up. But the one, the only, SP3, resident Lakers fan in the house. You remember
What's
that
going on,
scene?
fellas?
What's going on, brother? Before I ask you how you're doing, you remember that scene in Major League 2 when he's like, back up the truck, back it up, turn this place into a parking lot. That's how I feel about the Houston Rockets right now. Anyway, hi SP3. How are you? Long time no see.
It's good to be a Laker fan. That's all I have to say. I'm not gonna go in too hard on you. How do I sound, guys? It's late here. It's like 2 a.m.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's very late.
Geez, man. What are you doing up so late?
You asked him to come on
for y'all. Yeah.
I appreciate
I'm always open to I'm always open to assaulting, Houston Rockets fans verbally, for
I'm wearing
their
today because I'm so embarrassed.
Oh my God, you're wearing a Dallas Mavericks hoodie? That's
It's
worse.
it's a Luka Doncic hoodie. Actually, it's an
Okay,
old.
okay,
I
that's
got it
fair.
for like $10 on the clearance rack. So you don't play here no more. Biggest was no. So like okay, so here's
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys talk this through.
I'm a Rockets fan. I understand the deficiencies we have as a team, and there's a lot of chemistry problems. I had a buddy text me. One of my best friends in the world texted me before this series popped off, and he goes, "Hey, your boys are about to end LeBron's career." It sounds like we're researching LeBron's career. Like it's almost like we're going, "Hey, LeBron, we know you're getting close to the end here. Just take this one." Like we don't want to be here.
I mean,
we want to go back to. We're already scouting for the vacations. Get off my Dickerson. Really drove a wedge into this team.
The KD files, how did that play out for y'all? The KD files out here. I mean, y'all. I don't understand what y'all were thinking this season because Fred VanVleet got that injury in like September, and y'all had the whole year. You could have signed somebody, you could have made a trade, and y'all just decided, no, we're just gonna go on without a floor general, without a point guard, and now it's come back to the chickens have come home to roast, and now it's come back to haunt y'all, and you got KD playing point forward, getting 9 turnovers in game 2. Your defense that was probably the best part of your team can't even stop Rui Hashimura, who dropped 5 out of 10 from 3. You had Marcus Smart out here looking like Austin Reeves dropping 25 on your head.
Luke Kennard looks like he's a third-team All-NBA guy out there. What the hell's going on?
Luke Kennard out here looking like
on?
Luka Doncic out here. He's a Luke for a Luka. Oh man, it's not. And then you just heard the announcement. I don't know if you saw the announcement today. Austin Reeves is questionable now. He's moved up to questionable, so he might be back. If not by game 3, by game 4. It's not looking good for y'all out here. It's not looking good.
But yes, not only that, like Fred VanVleet for all of the it's pretty crazy how bad we need him, considering he's not like the most elite point guard in the world, but he would have at least righted some of these wrongs. And we didn't give up any first round picks to get Kevin Durant. It was all second round picks and just Dylan Brooks's, crazy ass. And we have all that first round ammunition. You trade for a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. You are in win now mode, not let's hold on to this draft capital for the. No, you go get Giannis or you go get a point guard who's available.
That's
or
happening.
Something. Now we're gonna get swept, and they're gonna blow this thing up, and it's gonna be awful. And we're not even getting swept by the best version of the Los Angeles Lakers. We're getting swept by guys that, like you said, Luke Kennard. That dude shouldn't be playing 40 minutes for anybody, let alone playoff basketball. That dude.
Hey, that was a good pickup for the Lakers. I said that when that happened. I had people looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, the Lakers don't have no shooting. We needed a shooter, and he's come through clutch. And then I had people, I was on In the Weeds earlier today. Shout outs to Jeremy Lambert. And I had people in the chat like, oh, what if the Lakers lose? I was like, it don't matter. We've gotten way farther. We're playing with house money at this point. We're not supposed to win. We're not supposed to win, but we're 2 wins away from the second round. So
and then Luka will be back, Austin Reeves will be back, and it'll just be like, all right, maybe the Lakers had a run in them here. We'll get OKC versus the Lakers. That'll be a wild series because I'm putting it to listen, I'm a Rockets fan, but I'm closing the door on this. I'm going, season's over. It was fun. I don't even want to watch Game 3. I don't want any part of it. Like, it's embarrassing out there. They got no chemistry. They give Şengün the ball. I think he is the most overrated player. I didn't like him. Şengün, they give him the ball at the top of the key. He dribbles it for like 10 seconds and then doesn't know what to do with it. And then he can't kick it out to anybody because JPJ, SP3, I didn't know if you know this or not. The Rockets can't shoot 3-pointers, so there's no one to kick it out to because we can't shoot. So he just throws it up there and hopes it goes in, and then he goes back on defense and doesn't play defense and just lets people like a turnstile walk right through him. Man, I burn it down, sell it all.
More and more, because I just started doing a podcast over on our second channel for True Hill Heat with my nephew, and my nephew is a big Sengun hater. Like, he doesn't like Sengun. He told me, he was like, Sengun is the most overrated center in the league. Like, we did a top 10 centers, and I had Sengun in my top 10, and he literally said he's not even in my top 10. And I didn't understand what he was talking about until I saw these first two games, and I'm like, yeah, what happened to the baby Jokic talk about Sengun? What's going on?
He took it too literal, and he's like, but he's probably a top 10 center. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, like, if that's the offense you're going to run, so I don't know if it's Ime's problem or the roster construct. I just feel like we got pretty lucky to be where we're at, and like, it's bad, and I'm just like, I should have worn my Lakers gear just for you, just to switch sides. Can I switch sides? Can I be a Lakers fan for the rest of the series? Or I got to ride
JPJ saying no, so yeah.
JPJ's the Celtics guy. He's looking.
I know he's our op. He's our op. He's our op right here.
I'm not licking any wounds.
You lost to the.
You think I'm scared of Philly? Yeah, because we shot 30%. I don't give a shit. My problem.
Hey, you did this last year with the Knicks and got
well, the Knicks
out the building.
The Knicks are trash. The Knicks are trash. They're always trash. Why don't you go celebrate a second round victory by burning down the streets of New York again, you losers? Anyway.
I agree.
Jesus
I
Christ.
agree with that.
Didn't do shit. You want a second round? If you're burning down the city for second round wins, you're a loser franchise. Hate to tell you, you're a loser franchise.
I agree.
1-1, baby.
Hey, that's fine. Look, I didn't think the Celtics were going to sweep them. I have the Celtics in 5. I thought they would take care of both games at home. But when the Celtics lose, this is how they lose, because I love Mazzulla. I do think he should be coach of the year.
I agree.
They don't change the way they play. And they shoot 53s a game. If they go 10 for 40, they don't adapt. They're just going to lose that game because in their minds, we're not going to miss like this next game. And that's just how they play. And it's unfortunate because I think they could have easily swept this Philadelphia team, especially with no Embiid, maybe the whole time, but at least for 2 or 3 games.
3-pointers. What's that like, you guys?
Yeah.
What's it like to have teams that shoot the
ball? The other night, my team shot like your team does regularly. That's what happened there. But I think we're going to be more than fine. I am not worried about this round at all when it comes to the Philadelphia 76ers. Could crazier things happen? Yeah, the Knicks were going to beat us probably without, even if Tatum doesn't get injured last year, which shouldn't have happened. But it is what it is. I'm not too concerned about the Celtics. I think they're
no. I still got the Celtics winning. Probably in like 5 or 6.
It might go 6 now. It might go 6 now. Maxey's a great player. Like, I love Maxey. I love the way he plays. He's a great player. And Edgecombe's a dog.
Yes.
For a rookie. He's a dog. But at the end of the day, like, Edgecombe he's a great player, but he got ridiculously hot in that second half. And then Maxey for like an 8-minute stretch, I felt like was just hitting threes from half court.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, well, I just.
You guys see my struggle, right? Like, you guys get to talk about really exciting players like Maxey and Edgecombe and Jason Tatum. And I'm like, Şengün and his dribble penetration.
I'm talking about Marcus Smart and Rui Hachimura out here. Like, that's the people
Rui,
that are
dude.
playing up for us.
Hey, Marcus Smart gave my Celtics a lot of good years.
Which, listen, that makes it even worse for me that we're losing to these guys. We're making DeAndre Ayton look like fucking top 5 center.
Yeah,
DeAndre Ayton's like, I can play the Rockets every night, baby.
I got to give credit to LeBron James. LeBron James has been probably like the most adaptable player this year, whether he's had to play the number 3 slot for us, the number 2 slot for us. He played some center for us. He had like a very Magic Johnson-esque game in game 1, and then he scored a little bit more in game 2. So LeBron is leading the way, and if he's able to win this series, this is a big notch on the GOAT case because of how long he's been great. I've never seen this from a 41-year-old in any pro sport.
Yeah. And he's out there hitting hook shots and shit, dude. He's throwing it all out. He's going deep in the bag, and
it's been impressive. Like, this is just the typical old man, but he's still like again, and this, you're going to call me a homer. He, to me, is like Brady in the NFL, where it doesn't matter how old they are. They just know so much they've seen everything they could possibly see when playing the game. So he can dribble up the court and look around and know where everyone's going, where everyone's going to be. And he is just the quarterback. And Brady was the same way. He could walk up to the line of scrimmage and look at the defense and know, okay, I know where everyone's going. I'm going to throw it to they're the same. When you perform at that level for that length of time, which is unheard of by both those guys in their respective sports, you are just at a level mentally that I don't care if you're 22. You might be able to run past me, but you're going to make more dumb plays than me. And I'm going to take advantage of every dumb play you make, and I'm going to step on your throat. And that's what those guys do. And this is vintage, as Michael Cole says, vintage LeBron James, these last two games. And I hate to say it because I'm obviously, as a Celtic guy, not a LeBron guy at all.
No, but it's very true. He's been doing this with like lesser teams since 2007 when he went to the NBA Finals with Antoine Jameson and Larry Hughes. He did it in 2018 when Kevin Love was on the downside of his career and the Cavs didn't have much, and they still made it to the NBA Finals. And if he's able to get this win, because I don't think the series is over quite yet, Pluggo, mainly because I think any playoff series is not really started until someone wins on a road. So if we get one of these road wins in Houston, then we can say it's over. But it's just 2-0, and we had our 2 games in LA. I think if y'all take care of your home court advantage, y'all be right back in the series.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I appreciate your optimism here, but I am looking at that box score from this last game. The only person to hit more than one or 2 3-pointers, Jabari Smith Jr. hit 3 3-pointers in that game. Everybody else either hit 1 or 2 or nothing.
That's pretty good.
That's rough. Tari Eason dropped 10 points from Tari Eason. Hell yeah.
You know what's going to be funny?
I don't know. I might just be, because I thought, okay, we got this spot. We should be fine.
Yeah.
LeBron, listen, he's 41. Let's be honest, he's 41, and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna be, he's gonna have some LeBron moments, but there's nothing really else to hang their hat on there, and they're just like, nah, we got this. Don't worry, we'll pick you up. And now I'm like, you could just tell too, like these guys don't like. I don't think that these guys like playing together. Like it's just, it does nothing about it feels good. It was like. And last year we overachieved, so then all of a sudden we're like, let's go get Kevin Durant. And it's like, last year we had some problems too, but then you get Kevin Durant at 37, who's probably still injured. He's probably injured. He's probably hurt.
Yeah, what was the reason why he missed game 1?
Some fluke thing.
Because I saw that he missed it, but like, did they ever? I never saw what actually happened.
I think he's also questionable for game 3 as well, so it's still obviously bothering him. So.
Speaking of questionable for game 3, Wemby. I watched that Portland game after he got injured. I watched the second half after I got done doing something, and like I know Wemby being out and all, but man, that could swing that series if he can't play tonight. Tomorrow night they play tomorrow night.
Yeah, Portland's a good 7 team. Like they're a legitimate. They can ball. And I would assume Wemby is out for tomorrow. I would think at the very least, maybe. I would think he's out at least for one game.
Protocol. He's got to be out for at least like 72 hours. So I think he's going to miss game 3 at the very least. But I mean, I told everybody at the beginning of the season, I was like, Portland Trailblazers was one of the best teams in the last month of the season last season. So I was one of the few people that called the Portland Trailblazers at least making it to the play-in this year. And they got the 7th spot because they won against Phoenix, and I was like, this is the best matchup possible for the Spurs because they're very deep. You got Devi, who's a most improved player candidate. You got the good coaching, you got the defense that they have over there, and they're just deep. And then you had Scoot Henderson playing like prime LeBron James out there in game 2, and that's why they took that win. So yeah, this is a good matchup, and the injury and that concussion was nasty. That he like double dropped his head on the court. So
and like the way he
the whole series around.
Yeah, the way he reacted afterwards too, when he was kind of stumbling, and that was a bad. It did not look good.
If you owned an NBA franchise, would you give the fans playoff T-shirts?
Oh boy.
What, will you have something against playoff T-shirts?
No, the Portland Trailblazers owners, like, I'm not doing. I'm not getting shirts for the fans. He wants to, get a head coach for a cool $1 million a year. He doesn't want to pay anything more than $2 million. He said, I know we haven't been to the playoffs in 5 years, guys, but we're not putting T-shirts on these seats. You know how much that costs in this day and age?
To be fair, I mean, he had a whole scandal with his other head coach, so I can understand why he doesn't want to spend that much money on the coach. But spending on the T-shirts, that just comes off as cheap. That comes off as you got no bank. You got no brain, bro.
Yeah, he's like, like the Thunder, they do all the blues. The Spurs did the different sections for game. Portland's guys like, no, I got to figure out sizes for 13,000 people. No, we're not doing that.
You don't do different sizes. You just pick larges, and you just everyone wears the large.
Oh yeah, I haven't fit into a large since.
Yeah, look at if you're too small, you're too big. That's not their problem. That's your problem. You figure that out. Now here's a large. You take everyone's getting a large.
He's probably thinking like, if I don't want people not, they're not going to use it if they can't fit in it, so it'll just end up at the local Goodwill.
Yeah,
you just twist it around your head.
Either that or Pluggo. I will buy it off of lids.com's clearance section once it goes clearance in a few years. That in 2028, I'm going to be rocking the 2026 Portland Trailblazers first round playoff series T-shirt. Like, let's go.
Yeah. You know what's going to be hilarious though is when all the Knick fans that have been talking shit for 2 months saying, oh, it's going to be us and the Celtics again in the playoffs, and we're going to beat you again when they don't beat the Hawks. But anyway,
I did call that as well. I was like, the Hawks is like the worst possible matchup for the Knicks. They play them so well. They don't have too much size, so it really depends on Cat dominating. And of course, we know Cat is one of the most inconsistent big men in the NBA today. So I was not surprised to see CJ McCollum cooking the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Yeah. I'm hoping that Atlanta can take care of business in Atlanta, but the Knicks are a scrappy team. They know how to get offense. They don't play a lick of defense. That's their whole problem. And that's why I think that the Celtics will beat the Knicks if they do face them in the second round, because the Celtics have a much better defense than the Knicks. But I do expect the Knicks to win this series, but I think it's going to be in like 6-7 games.
Yeah, it's gonna go hard. It's gonna go hard. Yeah. But that is a tough series. And then we saw, as far as the rest of the NBA playoffs and stuff like that, we got the Nuggets and Timberwolves tonight in Game 3. That's probably the best series of the bunch.
You saying all the series that put a smile on my face, because I said Atlanta was going to give the Knicks problem, and I said to Jeremy on In the Weeds, I was like, this Timberwolves is not an easy out for the Nuggets. The mental edge is very important. That's why I think if the Lakers can get a healthy Luka has a mental edge over the Thunder, because the last time they faced in the playoffs, Luka gave Shea and the Thunder the business in 2024 with the Dallas Mavericks, and the mental edge is there from 2024 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. And Denver Nuggets, as the reigning champions, lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves are just a better defensive team, and they locked them up at the end of Game 2. Rudy Gobert, for everything that we could say about him starting the COVID pandemic in the NBA and all the stupid stuff that he's done, he's one of the greatest defensive players of this era. And he really showed out with his defense on not only Jokic, but they did that switch to Jamal Murray, and he's guarding him and making Jamal Murray take that awful shot at the end of the game. But I think it was like 4 straight shots from Jokic, whether it was in the lane, whether it was a 3-pointer, he cannot score a lick against Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert earned every piece of money that he got, and then he proved the Minnesota Timberwolves management right, because there was a bunch of people that was like, oh, you need to trade Rudy for this person. You need to trade Rudy for that person. Their defense would not be as good as it is without Rudy Gobert.
100%.
And Edwards, man, he has that edge about him that, like, he's a guy that, like, he can do a lot with less. So, like, you know, people were like, Rudy's probably past it, so let's move on. And then they're like, nah. And then whoever they hadn't had a point guard for much of the season, like a true like backcourt. I mean, they had Mike Conley Jr., but he's like 49 years old, right? And however that was good, but he figures out a way. And these teams are always gritty and they always play tough. And like, I know Denver, if you would have asked them, I bet you they would have said we would have rather avoided Minnesota in round 1 and maybe got the Lakers Rockets instead. But it just fell that way, and now it's like, even if you get out of this series, if you're Denver, like, you ain't getting out of it easy. It might be a 7-gamer again, and then you're going to be washed for, I don't know how it falls, because I think the Lakers would get the Thunder, and then
they would get either the Spurs or the Blazers.
Spurs or the Blazers, and if Wemby's back and he's healthy, he seems to have like not Joker's number, but he plays them real tough. Like, it's almost like Wemby loves that game
series.
Yeah,
that would definitely be a 7-game series.
One thing, obviously, he's a freak athlete. We've never seen a guy like this that's that tall and can shoot and can do everything. But the thing I like about Wemby the most is he's a fucking savage, man. Like it's a big game, dude. He like, I don't know. You don't see, like, obviously all the stars play well and stuff like that, but he has a certain edge or like intensity to him.
It's like, I'm beating your ass.
Oh my God. I love it. I appreciate
it. Dalton, welcome to the chat.
Like a guy of that caliber, like, you know, you see him and he's this tall, skinny little guy, but he's like, I'm going to tear your fucking throat out. And I appreciate that tremendously. I love that part of him. And you see it, unfortunately, when he's diving for the ball and doing what he's doing and he hits it, like, that's because that's how he is. So hopefully, you know, it's nothing too crazy.
If we're sitting here, in June, is there any chance the Lakers are in the finals?
Finals?
I mean, I don't know.
That would be a run and a half.
It's a little late for SP3. He's a little sleepy, so I'll see if maybe I can get him to.
No. I'm not foolish. I'm not foolish enough to go that far. I need Luka. If we were at full health, then I can be like, yeah, I can see that happening, because Luka Doncic can get hot. Luka Doncic is a playoff riser. I think that Austin Reeves has had a career year, and he has really kind of stepped into the role of being the number 2 star. And then if you got someone like LeBron James, arguably top 2, top 3 NBA player of all time, as your number 3 on the team, and then Marcus Smart, who's a great defensive player and has been the hustle guy, the 4th best player on our team, playing the way he did in game 2, then I'd be very confident here and say, yeah, we could probably get by the Thunder by like a luck and chance and an injury to J-Dub. J-Dub got injured in game 2, so that opens the door for us as well. But I need to see Luka healthy before I'll be able to say that. So right now, no, I don't see that happening. But man, in a perfect world, if Adam Silver was writing the script for the NBA playoffs, and if he could pick any 2 teams, I think looking at the teams that's in the playoffs right now, Adam Silver would want Lakers Celtics in the finals. That's the magical matchup that always draws the money, draws the viewers. That's how you get everybody involved in the and Luka looking for revenge. Luka trying to get revenge for 2024 when the Celtics beat him. That has all the story. This LeBron versus the Celtics. That is all the drama.
And then, like you said, Pluggo, the Celtics, for Ime, our old coach, we would put LeBron out to pasture for you. That's what we would do there. That's how that would go. So, Yeah, that's how that would go.
It would not go like that. Luka Doncic is putting
Hey,
these
man.
boys to work,
Hey, man, look at
testing out Jason Tatum's leg out here. He might not make
Making
it
sure
through the
his
whole
lateral's
series.
good.
Yeah, I like Luka. At the end of in the finals, now that team was the fact that so many people picked Dallas and that champ. I will never forget the people that get paid a lot of money to talk about basketball that were literally sitting on my television saying Dallas is gonna. I was going, what the fuck are you watching? What are you watching? What? Unbelievable.
Luka Doncic factor, baby.
Yeah, well, Luka's good, but I will tell you, from watching that series, all 5 of those games, Luka quit in multiple of those games.
He did not quit. He was hurt.
Yes, maybe, but
Luka doesn't quit.
Yeah, he stopped playing.
He was hurt.
He had to carry quite a few bums to it too.
It was Luka, Kyrie, and the lob guys in the low post. That was it. That was all they had. They had a good defense. They had a great offense, but Luka was hurt, and it just came down to the Celtics were the deeper team. Like that's all it really came down to me watching it back. And I had the Celtics from the beginning of the season winning that NBA championship. So yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I think the Celtics, again, if they have 2 or 3 of those games in a row, we're in trouble. That's why we got in trouble with the Knicks last year and why we were probably going down, injury or not, to the Knicks is because of what happened, what we saw in game 2. They just can't shoot and they just keep shooting. But I feel pretty good.
I think at the beginning of the season, I had Thunder. I forget who I had on the other side. I think I had Thunder and Cavs. And then at the beginning of the playoffs, I had Thunder and Celtics. Celtics have had a tremendous season. Like you said before, Joe Mazzulla is the coach of the year. Your role players have played awesome. And I've just loved how the Celtics and the Thunder play each other in the regular season. That's some of the best NBA finals. And the Celtics are the only team that has a shot of making it a competitive series against the whoever comes out of the Western Conference. If it's the Knicks, that's a sweep. If it's the Pistons, they don't have enough experience for anyone in the Western Conference, even if it's the Spurs. So yeah, I need the Celtics to come out of the East to make it at least
Pistons got to get past the Magic, bro.
I think game one was a fluke.
You think so? Okay, because I was like, I saw that, and I was like, it's not a good look, especially after everybody said you're not the softest in terms of how you play, but just like not the most experienced 1 seed we've had in quite some time. Not a good look. And then all of a sudden the Magic are like, we're world beaters again. Wait, what?
And then they got smacked in game 2. They got smacked right down to earth. So I think the Pistons are going to steal at least 1 in Orlando to make it an even series, and they'll probably finish that up in 6.
Yeah.
I know it's late for you, man. How long we got you? Or you got to get out of here? You
got me for a few. We could talk some wrestling if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What did you think of WrestleMania, real quick? You don't have to give us a full breakdown, but what did you think of especially the perception of the night 1 to night 2 dynamic and all that fun stuff?
Oh, night 1 sucked. Night 1, I think, is arguably one of, like, if you going by single shows in WrestleMania history, it's one of the
top
worst.
5 worst.
I think
top 5
I think that WrestleMania 9 has a certain charm to it that's actually better than WrestleMania Night 1. I've never seen a wrestling show that had, on average, if you think about it, from the 4-hour broadcast and 84 minutes of wrestling on that show, it had 36% of the show was wrestling. That means that more than 60% of the show was not wrestling. It was either entrances or ads. I never want to watch that show again. I will not go back and watch Seth and Gunther, which was definitely the best matchup on that show. I'm not going to go back and watch it. I'm not. maybe I'll see a clip of Bianca Belair announcing her pregnancy, or maybe I'll see a clip of Paige's entrance. Those are the only 3 good things that was on that show. It's one of the worst viewing experiences that I've ever seen with a major wrestling promotion. It was really bad. Night 2 was better. I thought it was a very good show. I was very happy right off the bat that Obafemi got the win because I was definitely a little bit nervous.
I think we all were kind of shitting ourselves that they were gonna not do what was so obvious that they needed to do. They didn't, and I think that that's kind of set night 2 off and running, where everyone was like, that like sense of relief was like, oh shit, they did it. Like, oh, they put Oba over. Like, cool.
If Obafemi and Brock Lesnar was on night 1, they might have done it. They were like, we got to give people what they want on night 2. We screwed up.
Yeah. The 2 of us were on a post show here on night 1, and we had Ella J with us, and Ella openly said, if Brock Lesnar beats Oba tomorrow to start the show, I'm not watching the rest of the night. I'm not watching the rest of the night. I'm out.
I think everybody was like that, and especially because of how night 1 ended. That Cody Rhodes Randy Orton matchup, that's an all-timer stinker in a main event scene in WrestleMania history. And I think that Randy Orton, God bless him, Randy Orton is an all-time great. He's probably like a top 20, top 25 guy in WWE history. I don't think anyone else in the top 25 has the 4 all-time stinkers that Randy Orton has. The Triple H main event at WrestleMania 25, the 2 matches with Bray Wyatt, 33 with the bugs on the mat, and then 37 with the Fiend matchup with Alexa Bliss having goo coming out of her head, and then this one with Cody. It was so confusing to watch. You did a whole build-up where Orton turned heel, and then you did this matchup where he's then the worn-down veteran with a bad back, selling the back, making his comeback like he's the baby face. Cody's working heel the whole matchup. Then you decide, oh no, wait, no, Orton's the heel because the heel referee Pat McAfee is going to come out and try to help him. Then Orton turns back babyface by giving the RKO to Pat McAfee. Then he loses after Cody done low blowed him, poked him in the eye, and then took advantage of him being distracted. And then you turn back Randy Orton at the end. Like, if I told you all of this happened, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe that WWE in one of their biggest matches of the year had that convoluted of a layout, but that is exactly what happened. They turned a guy babyface to heel about 2 to 3 times in one matchup. It's so bad, and I hope to never go back and watch it, but I might just go back and watch it at the end of the year so I can really assess why this is one of the worst matches of the year. But night 2, like you said, started off much better. Obafemi won. I didn't like the Brock Lesnar fake retirement because I don't believe it, not by a long shot, that's the retirement. Okay. And I thought that took a little bit of the spotlight off of Oba winning. I think the story should have been Obafemi just beat Brock Lesnar instead of Brock Lesnar may have just retired. I felt like that became more of the story than what it needed to be focused on. Obafemi. The ladder match was awesome. One of the best matches of the whole entire weekend. Penta showing out. Rey Mysterio at 51 was ridiculous. Javon Evans was the MVP of the matchup with that OG cutter. Trick Williams winning, that was the right move. I thought that match could have been a little bit more, but perfect with Trick getting the win there. I don't like the Demon anymore, guys. I've always been a big Demon guy, but it's mostly because of what he was in New Japan and NXT. The cartooned Arise version of the Demon in the main roster is just not for me.
Do you think that would have hit differently if they actually let it be a natural surprise?
Maybe you might be onto something. That might be it. If it was a surprise, but even if it is a surprise, they just make it so cartoonerized. Like he's doing the all of this, and that's never was what the Demon is. He just gets more physical, more aggressive. He doesn't go like cartoonish with the whole Demon stuff. So that's where I was off with that. Rhea Ripley, I think, cemented herself as the new Mrs. WrestleMania with the performance that she had, taking Jade Cargill and having the best women's matchup of the weekend and Jade Cargill's best WWE match. And then the main event was an all-time classic. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, the best WWE match that I've seen in like 2-3 years. The last time I went automatically watching a matchup from WWE and I was like, yeah, that was a 5-star match. That was a perfect professional wrestling matchup. Is probably the last Roman one-on-one main event with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. But this one might have been that much better because the hatred, the story that they told, Roman being in top form, CM Punk putting on one of his best performances ever. Those two guys, hats off to them because they really kind of balance the scale on, if you were like saying what's the overall score for the weekend, I think I gave like a thumbs in the middle for WrestleMania 42 because of what they were able to accomplish on night 2.
Yeah, that main event was just unbelievable, really, and truly an all-time main event. And it started from the entrances. I thought the entrances were great with both Roman and Punk's entrance was excellent. And
they gave him the head of the table theme. They gave Roman the
Yep.
head of the table theme back. That was the perfect moment for me.
Yeah. And then
to do it solo, man. Like that was that was so cool to see. Like Roman not needing any help. There was no shenanigans. Like I said, keep it simple. Tell the story. It was wonderful. And my man Punk, man, even when he was down, he was swiping at him, which I kind of liked. He was like that old man where you're like, you're beating his ass in the parking lot, and you're like, you're done, old man. He's like, I ain't done until I say I'm done. Get back here. It was so good. All great touches. Dan Brown's in the house. What's up, Dan? Welcome in, friend.
Yeah, and I just thought the storytelling in that match also was just they hit pieces, and I mentioned it with Minnie when we were talking about they hit pieces of every part of the story they told us leading up to, Punk harped on you can't win by yourself. Well, what does Roman do? He won by himself, but even before, he does the Shield powerbomb by himself through the table to Punk, saying, no, I can do this myself. They brought up the family and all stuff like that. So what does Punk do at one point? He tries to get in Roman's head. He grabs the Ula Fala from the fan and he brings it in and he's going to spear him with his own move wearing the Ula Fala. And then at the end, what was the big thing that Punk got angry about when it came to what Roman said? He was old. And at the end of the match, who was the guy that fell first, that couldn't continue, that was on his last breath? It was the old guy. It was Punk, because Roman is younger, stronger, faster. It was just a really good, just from start to finish, from the build. And it's crazy how the best match of WrestleMania and the best matches of the weekend were the ones that had proper best builds leading up to Mania. The ones that had this, bunch of BS, not enough build, too short a build or whatever. Like those matches all fell flat, but the ones you gave the proper time to and you built over weeks and weeks and weeks, those matches delivered because we were invested in those matches.
Even that, I think Roman winning was the right decision, 100%. But if Punk would have won that, I still think we would have left it going. That was awesome.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Oh yeah, I think that's part of why it's going to be remembered as that great matchup, because you really didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah.
And like you said, JPJ, with the ending, it's such a great extra layer because not a lot of people have been talking about it. The move that Punk does that he doesn't have enough energy to do, the go to sleep, and then the opponent bounces back against the rope, and then he's just waiting there to pick them up to hit the same go to sleep. He has beaten Jon Moxley and Seth Rollins that way in the past, but he couldn't get it done on the third member of the Shield this time because he's too old. And I thought that the way they laid out the build wasn't perfect because I felt like the first promo was absolutely what it needed to be, and then they escalated it way too far, too fast with the second promo when Punk is saying, I'm going to bury you next to your father. And then they reared it back in the next promo where Roman says, you're old. And that's his big punchline at the end. So that whole thing was confusing. So I wasn't like sold on that being a big part of the story, but they made it they made it one of the most important parts of the buildup because of how it played out in the end. So it made me be like, okay, that was necessary to tell the story that they wanted to tell on the night. So hats off to both guys.
Yeah, it was truly an excellent main event. And it, I wouldn't say it saved the weekend because I thought as a whole, I would give Mania, a 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 probably as a whole, 2.5 out of 5 probably if I'm being fair. But I think without that main event, that shit's a 1. That shit's a 1 probably without that main event, even with the Oba stuff, which I loved, and the ladder match. And that main event was such a special main event that it really, really made the weekend salvageable big time.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, even like night 2 was still ad ridden and still kind of in the same vein. It just ended a half hour earlier, and they gave us things that we wanted to see happen. So like, I think we were able to tolerate it a little bit more, but they got to figure out a way. And I said this on another podcast I was on, and I pay for the bundle package. So I got the Disney Plus, the Hulu, the ESPN. It's all kind of one thing. And I'm still getting it. I haven't seen a promo package on a PLE since September. What am I paying for then? Like, I don't even get the proper promo package build up to these matches. I get the ads that they want, the WWE wants to run, and then I get the ads that Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN wants to run. Then I get the match. I'm like, that for me as the viewer, I'm just like, no wonder people are so frustrated. How do you at least get me hyped back up for Punk and Roman? Not that I need it, because I'm not a casual watcher. I watch all the time. I knew what was going on, but sometimes the video packages are good, and I don't know how to watch them. I'm paying out the ass for it.
Even for me being in the US and not being in the US and watching it on Netflix, we only got video packages for the 2 main events. For Cody and Orton and for Punk and Roman. And I said that on our review. I was like, how do you get the people that just watch WrestleMania? Because there are a lot of WWE fans that don't always watch week to week, don't always watch the Royal Rumble or SummerSlam. They watch just WrestleMania, and that's how they get reinvested into WWE. And then you're having these matches with no video packages, and they have no idea why these people are wrestling.
Yeah, and then it's over in 7 minutes, and a casual non-viewer goes, well, that must not have been that important. And you're like, that was one of the best builds they've had. And oh, well. And so, I don't quite understand the strategy. I know it's money-based, 100%. I get it. It's money-based strategy right now. They're trying to get that money. But I feel like you would get that money and more of it if you invested more into your product and to the fans that are watching it. So like you said, you get them hooked with those video packages. You get, hey, whoa, I missed all this stuff leading up to this match at WrestleMania. Maybe I need to tune in a little bit more. And then that's where you get the Netflix subscriptions. And then that's where you get your money revenues going. And they're just like, we're good. We're good. I don't need people buying our merch and getting excited. Just show up for the PLEs and watch the Liberty ads. It's like,
it's definitely a different vibe. Like one of the things that stuck out to me was, and I thought the Raw after Mania was a pretty decent to good show. Like I thought we saw a lot of good stuff on there. Ethan Page, Sol Ruka. Like I thought there was a lot of good. The Punk Cody tease was a good promo segment. Like there was a lot of good on the Raw after Mania. But the first thing they showed at the beginning, when they showed the recap of WrestleMania at the beginning of Raw, what was the first thing they showed? The celebrities. That was the first thing they showed, were the celebrities. And I'm just like, that's where we're at now. They view that as, the fans, they'll see the celebrities and they think that that'll be cooler than what they're actually seeing in the ring. And it's like, well, not really. Us wrestling fans like the wrestling part of it. Like that's why we like it, is the wrestling. A lot of us look at, I like a little bit of both. I like some good promo. I like a good promo segment. So I need it to be a good mixture of both. I don't want just one over the other. I want it both. But it's clear that the direction, and it's not a secret, the direction they're going is they don't really care about the diehard. At least it feels like right now. And I think it was, I saw Ariel say something on it on social media. Like at some point, this is all they're gonna have to win back the diehard fans they might be like, because at something like, oh, they're riding high now and it's all good. And I'm not saying it's going to be anytime soon. This could go for a while with the way things are going, but at some point, it always goes like this at some point.
What did Mark Cuban say? Pigs get fed, the hogs get slaughtered at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I think they're losing more people than they realize, but the thing is, they're just pricing them like their revenue is still.
But then, what did you say at the beginning when we were talking to Minnie? What did they say today? Oh, well, that was the highest grossing WrestleMania of all time. Okay, well, they could be losing a ton of fans.
No. The key word was one of the highest grossing.
Yeah.
They did not say it was the highest grossing, and I think that is it. That is one of them being like that. That sticks in their crawl. And another thing is, like, I appreciate what Ariel said, because it says a lot when he's been such a loyal WWE fan, a loyal TKO fan guy. Nick Khan, he works with him and everything, and he did make good points when he said it was soulless. My whole thing where I had a little kickback with what he had to say is because he is very much like that WWE fan that just wants to blame TKO, that doesn't really want to acknowledge the fact that a lot of the issues are internally, because this creative team has lost confidence in themselves. Triple H has lost confidence in his own creative direction. Where we were at 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we're not at that point anymore. They have really took their foot off the pedal. Once they got to Netflix, they felt like they had already won the race. They finished their race. They don't need to be part of the race when everybody, especially the fans that are watching week to week, like all of us on screen, we want you to keep your foot on the pedal. We want you to be creative, and the lack of creativity is really telling to me, and that's the whole reason. Like, we work regular jobs, a lot of us, and we have worked regular jobs. If you are doing your job, the upper management doesn't come to you. The upper management doesn't get involved in what you're doing. If you're doing your job, they're totally fine. The only time upper management comes in is if the numbers ain't looking good, or they don't think you're doing your job right. And I think it's a little bit of both with WWE right now, and especially with the creative team. But the issue that I have with Triple H is that he wants all the credit when something is right. Your CM Punk and Roman Reigns have a good segment. What was the first report that was out? Oh, Triple H wrote that. Well, duh, he's the head of creative. But then when Pat McAfee gets involved into your main event program, oh, that's Ari Emanuel. Oh, it's his fault. Oh, SmackDown's not doing well. Oh, it's Road Dogg. Throw him under the bus. Road Dogg, he's not doing well. Well, Road Dogg's out of here, and SmackDown's been worse. It's been worse.
It's a very highlight show for me at this point, where it's just like it's 3 hours on a Friday night, and it drags. And
it's bad.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Triple H, he loves that pat himself on the back stuff for sure. And it's just like, and then like you said, the management side of it, 100%. And I think also part of the problem is you have this upper management that does not quite understand the niche that is wrestling. So they're coming in, they're looking at numbers as an investment going, wait a minute, you guys, we need to do this, this, and this. And Triple H is doing, and it's just like, I don't think the clock is working the way it's supposed to right now. And like you said, a broken clock is right, twice a day type say. So they do have some hits, but it's like they got to figure it out from the top. Trips has got to figure it out from the ground level, and they need to come together and come up with some way that you can meld these two together, where we're leaving WrestleMania going, maybe it wasn't the greatest WrestleMania of all time, but it wasn't like a slog to get through, and that's what you don't want, especially when it's the first WrestleMania on ESPN. You want it to be successful. ESPN wants it to be successful to the point that they're putting your first hours on their free TV so that they can try to help you get. And I saw the report today, they only did like 1.8 on that first hour on ESPN proper on a Sunday night, and I can't imagine that they're like, oh hell yeah, that was a good investment. And so I remain hopeful that they'll figure it out. But right now, I'm just like, I don't know where to go with the direction. Which way are they going? I don't think they know.
Well, they have to realize that when WWE got into this whole boom period 2 years ago, when they were peaking, it was because they had a strong main event. They had Cody finishing his story and the bloodline drama. And that was like rising tide lifts all ships. Like everything else on the show wasn't perfect, but because that was great and that was compelling and that drew people in and that sold out all these buildings, everything else looked good in comparison. Because really, when you think about it, when was the last time Triple H booked a good women's world title reign? He's had some of the greatest women's wrestlers in the world today hold their women's title, from Io Sky to Rhea Ripley to Liv Morgan to Stephanie Vicaire to Tiffany Stratton. None of them had good title reigns in the last 3-4 years. None of them.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley was champion for over a year. She barely had challengers for that title. They booked her mostly against men during that reign. Liv Morgan, her title reign, which really elevated her, was more about her relationship with Dom than any of her title matches. Io Sky, one of the greatest women's wrestlers that's ever stepped in the WWE ring, was champion for 4 months last year. We didn't see her for 2 of them. Stephanie Vicaire came to the main roster and was supposed to be viewed as this kind of aura-based, great in-ring worker. She just feuded for 6 months with Raquel Rodriguez and Nikki Bella, and now all of her aura is gone.
And her music.
Her music. The music changes.
Yeah,
but no, you're right. You're 100% right.
All of those things stand out more because the main event picture has not been well since the beginning of last year. TKO actually helped Triple H at the beginning of 2025 by adding The Rock and Travis Scott to make John Cena's heel turn as big as possible. They gave him the ball. They set him up perfectly. He pulled the trigger, and it was great. It was one of the best moments in wrestling last year. And what did Triple H do with the ball? He immediately fumbled it on the next play, and he ruined John Cena's retirement run. And because of that, all the other flaws of the main roster and their creative stand out way more. They need to get the main event picture hot. And basically, Triple H is just repeating a lot of stuff that Vince McMahon did. Whenever stuff was going wrong or whenever he ran out of ideas, Vince McMahon would press a button. It's a panic button, and the panic button was listed as McMahon family drama. Triple H doesn't have that, but he does have a panic button, and it says bloodline lore, and that's why Roman Reigns is feuding with Jacob Fatu right now. We're gonna do the bloodline.
That's why the Usos are back going like this behind Roman.
Yeah, the end of Raw. The end of Raw. Roman's walking with the title. He walks past the Usos. Looks like he's gonna walk right by him, and he just goes, "Nah, man, you come out with me." And then I'm just like, "We're just doing this shit all over." I said, "We're just doing it again.
We're Sammy again. He's Sammy back."
I'm doing a live stream during Raw. And I'm just earlier in the night, I'm like, who's going to confront Roman tonight? And some people in the chat are saying, oh, Oba or this or that. And I just throw out there, I go, what about Jacob Fatu? And what about him? And then Fatu comes out and I go, Roman's like, yeah, I'm back all summer, but I'm just fucking with my cousins all summer again too. So that's what we're doing. This is just me and the family. This is me and the family again, guys.
My hope is that they realize what they have with Opa Femi and they give him the Brock Lesnar push. He wins the King of the Ring. He wins at SummerSlam. He beats Roman Reigns. You solidify him as the new top guy. That's what they need to do. That would catch fire. The way he's been hot and gaining momentum, he's the guy to put your horse behind, and he's a new top star that Triple H can make, because he's been fumbling on a lot of these top stars. Like 6 months ago, I would have told you, yeah, Braun Breaker will definitely be a WWE champion by now, and they completely missed the peak on him when he turned on Seth. They was like, oh no, we can't give him the title right now. We got to wait for a bigger show. And I'm standing up here and on every platform I was on, I was like, why are we waiting for a bigger show? Just put the title on him. Seth's injured. He should have won the title immediately after Seth left. It should have went to him. Look how good he looked with that World Heavyweight Championship after Seth left. And he gave him the title. And then the very next week, what is he saying to Paul Heyman? Oh, I guess I'm not ready yet. I got a lot to learn. And he hasn't been the same.
Give it back. I'll give it right back. I said I'm a big proponent of, like, I don't think you need to wait for certain shows to do certain. Just do it. If you got it, it's hot and it's working, run with it. Because again, you write the shows. We can always figure out a way out of whatever we're doing. But if you wait, then Braun gets hurt. people get hurt, things happen, it becomes more convoluted and harder to get where because some of that steam's gone now. We gotta reheat Braun Breaker back up, but he could have got hurt and figured it out later.
And like
Corey Michaels is in the chat. What's up, Corey? Saying Oba shouldn't stop at the WWE Championship. He should get the Undisputed Championship. Yeah, there you go. Triple H is willing creative. Ari Emanuel, Dwayne Johnson, CTK. Give it all to our man Oba, baby.
It's true, dude. It's true. Well, look, we haven't seen somebody get this organically over this much this quickly since probably Brock in 2002. Like that's why he needs that treatment. Like you put him over. They did the right thing. Brock put him over. It should be SummerSlam. It should be SummerSlam where it is. Oh, and they even did the stuff on the post show where Oba called out Roman, and I thought Roman was excellent the way he got up from the desk and like stared down the crowd, and they were chanting Oba's name and the stuff he said about Oba. Like that to me is your main event of night 2 of SummerSlam where you crown this kid and this guy is your champion, and that's it, man. And then you just kind of go from there and you figure it out. And you figure out what you do with Oba as champion. But all summer, that you're going to have this lingering thing of Oba, if he's not involved in the title picture or moving towards the title picture, that is just going to be a lingering thing where the crowd is going to be like, yeah, you know, you mentioned Braun Breaker. They tried to, when people would get hot, they would steer them away from that, you know, like they would, you know, and I just look at it and I go, they just have the same, and this has been said a bunch of places, but they have the same guy. They're not doing anything new. And I think that Oba Femi, and to a slightly lesser extent, a guy like Trick, you can't hide these guys. You can't hide these. You can't go, well, we need to wait until next year on this date to do Oba because we need to do this and this first. You cannot wait. You cannot wait.
That's why I brought up Braun Breaker, because they waited on Braun Breaker and they cooled him off. And now not only has Oba passed him, but Trick has passed him as well. And look at that. That's what happens. And this company is sitting here in the year of our Lord 2026, and they have never, guys, had a male world champion born in the year of our Lord 1990. They've never had a champion born in the 1990s. Every single champion they have had, the youngest it gets is the 1980s. That is ridiculous. At this point, when you have so much young talent, with the last time they had a champion in his 20s was Bray Wyatt in 2017.
Yeah. Well, before that, probably Randy Orton.
No, it was Seth Rollins.
Yeah, famously, Seth, Randy. Like, it's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. You got, and again, it's not like this is the UFC where it's like, oh shit, you know, it's like, oh, we give Braun the belt, we try it out, we run it. We can always get out of it. But hey, you might find something that's awesome here. You might be like, oh shit, I got Luke Kennard, baby.
And that's a good callback because we do have to get out of here in a few minutes. But I think that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that's been missing for me these last year and a half, 2 years, even like really, is they don't try anything. For fuck's sake, Jinder Mahal was WWE champion. Like, it didn't work, but they tried something new. And, you know, and I just feel like we've gotten in this thing, especially the last 2 years, it seems like, where they don't try anything new. It's just that, no, these are the guys. This is who it is. It's going to float between them. And that's what we're doing. It's like, at least try something. There was always the times where Dolph Ziggler was fighting for the world championship at a Royal Rumble, or some guy off, you know, whatever. Jinder Mahal's upsetting Randy Orton to win it, or we have wrestler X fighting for the world championship at some B pay-per-view in the middle of June and stuff like that. They just don't do that anymore. It's just that, I don't know. It just feels like they just, nope, these are our 5 guys and it's not ever going to change. And even though we have a guy like Braun Breaker who was lightning hot, who it was evident to everybody that he's a future guy, but should be a current guy. Nope. It seems like they kind of know what they have in Oba so far. It feels like they do. But if they try to find a way for this to prolong it, even if they try to prolong it to next year's Mania, too long. Sorry.
Yeah. Because anything can happen. Anything can happen in a year.
Yeah. And I'm just like, you got to just fucking do something different, man. SummerSlam's 3 months away. that guy and this trajectory that he's already the most popular guy in your company, man. Like, listen to the friggin' that crowd. Not only were they chanting his name and doing the dance, that crowd just straight up on Monday gave him a standing round of applause. Round of applause. And if that doesn't tell you that this guy should be champion like this coming Monday, I don't know what the fuck does. Because it's very apparent. But anyway, that's my spiel. That's my spiel. Thank you for joining us, SP3. We know it's super late where you are, so we appreciate you making the time for us, as you always kind of do whenever we check in with you. So we appreciate you greatly. Let the people know where they can find you, what you do on a weekly basis, where your content is, and then we'll get you out of here so you can go to bed.
Thanks guys for having me. I owed y'all one because I think I did oversleep the last time you guys invited me on, so I don't mind staying up a little bit later to join y'all and talk some grabs.
You said you owed us like 5, so
I do owe you a little bit more than this. But follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can see my written work at si.com, the takedown on SI, where I do a bunch of interviews. My interview is up with Kevin the Gent Knight following his win of the TNT Championship at AEW Dynasty that came out last week. And you can also see more of my written work at WrestleTalk.com as well. But as far as my content, the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel, we've gotten a lot of new subscribers from WrestleMania week because we did a full week, 8 straight days of coverage around WrestleMania, AEW, and everything else. Check out the AE Ramble show I do every Thursday, reviewing AEW Dynamite. That's up right now with me and Jimmy Macaram talking about last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. This Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, got our flagship podcast. We're celebrating our 8-year anniversary of our YouTube channel, so check that out. We're going to do a live talking about everything from wrapping up WrestleMania week. And then tomorrow on that channel, I got a Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom preview with Scott E Wrestling. That's going to be dropping over there. We have a secondary channel, True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment, where I talk about TV shows and sports. And we're going to be live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, myself and Corey Brennan of Fightful, to review Daredevil Born Again Season 2, episodes 5 and 6. So this week's episode and last week's episode. And we'll talk all about Jessica Jones over there. So check that out tomorrow. And just follow me and you'll see all my content there. And thank you once again for having me, guys.
Busiest guy in the game, man. Jeez.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, no, you're welcome anytime. You know that. We love having you on.
Absolutely. Thanks for making the time, man. Have a good rest of your evening. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll have you on here very, very soon, my dude.
Get some sleep.
For sure. I will.
All right.
I will. Thank you.
Have a good rest of your night, man. Thank you. SP3, y'all. Staying up extra late. Staying up extra late.
Even told me he couldn't go till 10 because he was out, but he did it. He's a trooper. We love him.
Philadelphia Eagles drafted a wide receiver, so AJ Brown definitely a New England Patriot.
Going with that New England Patriots scandal team.
Please, scandal. Neither of them should be in trouble or any of it. Who cares? Jesus Christ. No, get out of here. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Listen, I
can't be in bed with NFL insiders.
Okay, first of all, he that has nothing to do with him at all. Like, first of all, neither of them should be in trouble, in my opinion. Second of all, this is like a 3-day story that has been dragged out for a month.
You also can't release Stephon Diggs for being a distraction to the team while your head coach is distracted to the team.
They released him because it was going to be too much money.
That's not what they said. Anyway, we can talk about that for hours. But
Look, I've said it. Obviously, I'm not minimizing. They're married people. Not cool. Adultery is not cool. You shouldn't do that. I feel bad for their families. I feel bad for their significant others and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's two people who found each other attractive and it's not a big deal. It's just not a big deal.
But if she's got inside information,
then she shouldn't be. Then she shouldn't be. Then she shouldn't be doing inappropriate things with the head coach.
Yeah, that's
I'll
where
leave
it
it
gets.
at that.
That's where
Doesn't
it
really.
gets
Again,
sketchy.
I feel like neither of them should be in the situation they're in. Vrabel having to miss the draft or saying he's taking time. It's ridiculous. Her losing her job, ridiculous. It's very simple. Hey, you're not going to cover Mike Vrabel's teams anymore. You're going to go over here. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah,
And then that's it. It's very easy to but
Baker's on TV. She's in the crowd at Pittsburgh. Of course she is. She's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Anyway.
But they just took the Steelers just took an offensive tackle from Arizona State. He's crying like a baby. He's crying like a baby. Probably because he has to go play for that fucking trash organization. One of the all-time great organizations, but gross. But anyway, I can't wait to stay up for another hour to see my Patriots trade out. But I digress. Bill's not there anymore.
Bill's not there anymore.
Bill's not there anymore.
Vrabel needs a
we didn't have these type of scandals when Bill was around.
We need the Patriots definitely need something else in the news cycle. But
that's why they released the news a month and a half early that apparently AJ Brown is just definitely getting traded. I've been watching football my whole life, Pluggo, and I never remembered ever in my life where publications, like credited publications, came out and said, hey guys, a month and a half from now, this guy is definitely getting traded to this team. Yep. I've never seen that before.
Yep.
What the hell?
And
how do they know?
How
do they know?
And if I'm other teams that need a receiver, I go, well, maybe we'll scoop in here. But
that's I've never seen anything like it. But anyway, all right.
Anyway,
do the thing. Great show tonight. Thank you to Mini Portable. Thank you to SP3, Mania Talk, all the stuff going on. The Raptors are about to beat the Cavaliers.
It's crazy. NBA basketball is crazy. But I am Pluggo. You can find me at Pluggo on all social media platforms. You go to search Pluggo. That's me. Every Thursday night with JPJ for Between Two Beards. Go to Happy Two Beards for all your social media needs, and then we'll tell you what we got going on, who we've got coming on, and everything coming up. And then For Exposure this weekend at For Exposure Pod with Blair Pacheco. I think we're doing it at 4:00. I forgot to text him and tell him when because my crazy schedule. And then all of everything else, you just go to my socials. I got a lot going on. I don't know where I'm at, what I've done.
Yeah,
I've done a couple of things this week, but I did the Ope Thruway. Shout out to Pierce. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Pierce.
I thought he's not real.
Pierce is real. Donnie, who was actually on
that's
show,
right. That's right. No,
they had Donnie show up to show me he was real. I still think he's AI generated.
Wait, is Pierce's birthday today?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey. I'll have to send him a message before it's not today anymore. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, all social media platforms. Same as him. You can find us both here every Thursday night. You can find me Sundays over on Fightful Overbooked, usually around noontime with Auntie Collins doing some coast to coast. Keep an eye on my socials. There will be news about the AEW post show that I do on Body Slam that used to be with Jose Gonzalez, our pal Jose on the air. There should be some news coming out about that in the next coming weeks. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, when a co-host leaves, you either got to do the show by yourself or you got to try to find somebody else, Pluggo, or you just don't do the show anymore. So I've been
teasers.
Yeah, it's called a tease in the biz. It's called a tease. So in the next couple of weeks, pay attention to the socials and Body Slam socials. We'll announce it kind of everywhere, but we'll talk about the future of Dynamite up over there. But yeah, Thursdays right here on Love Wrestling always. Sundays, Fightful Overbook with Auntie Collins. Stay tuned to this channel because very quickly after we get off tonight, we will be joining the LPW Clandestine Society Wrestling Academy show that is going on live right now at the Rec Room up in Edmonton. There will be maybe some news coming about that. We're going to have some discussions, but once a month they do a show on Thursday nights. So maybe there's some discussions that maybe we're just stay tuned to our socials about stuff like that because we're going to start showing those shows on our YouTube, and they usually start at 9:30 Eastern. So we're going to be heading over there. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. That'll be coming live the second we get off the air and we hear from Sue. But until then, next week, we will see you guys. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate our guests tonight. You guys know the drill. Till next time, say hi to Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much.